You are listening to the Horse Radio Network, part of the Equine Network family.
This is episode 178 of Retired Racehorse Radio on the Horse Radio Network, part of Equine Network, brought to you by Kentucky Performance Products and Equestrian Plus. Retired Racehorse Radio is your guide to the adoption, care, and training of the retired racehorse. Brought to you in cooperation with the Retired Racehorse Project and New Vocations Racehorse Adoption Program.
On today's show, we're catching up with our Making the Makeover Spotlight trainer, Shanin Quashie, who has had a roller coaster of a spring with her 2026 makeover prospect. Then we meet an adoptable horse of the week and a new training tip with New Vocations Amanda Grace. Stay tuned.
Welcome to Retired Racehorse Radio.
This is Joy Orr in Detroit, Michigan.
And this is Kristen Kovach-Bentley in Jamestown, New York, and you are listening to Retired Racehorse Radio.
Kristen, it feels like it's been a year. And it's only been a couple of weeks. How is that?
Since we talked last or since I got to ride my horse last? Because both feel the same.
All of it. Just all of it.
Yeah. I know. Summer is like moving in weird ways. And I think it's like some of it is like my new job and adjusting to like a totally new schedule. And like the other part of it is like my horses have been incredibly unsound and sick. And that just makes time feel both like it's going really fast and it's not moving at all. So I don't know.
Not even sick with things that were obvious. Like you really were going through the kind of like what's behind door number 3 game with your horses.
Oh my God. Well, and honestly, it's still like it could be this or it could be this and that. And we don't know yet. And you won't know for a few weeks, but just sort of, carry on. So that was fun. But I mean, that's the reality, right? Like we always think like, oh, we'll go and get a diagnosis, and it's not always that easy. So that's kind of been the fun in air quotes part of this. So I don't remember where we left off when this saga, like what was the last thing that you remember? And we chit chat every day. So it's really hard.
Yeah, I would say what I remember I was talking about, like you were at the vet out and there was like mystery abscesses, but then there's like Jobber was going through mystery lameness. Shorty was going through his whole thing, which I can't remember if we talked about it on the show or not. So listeners, you might be getting like the whole mashup of everything going on at one time.
Yeah. I can give like the TLDR version. Yeah. So Shorty had 2 abscesses at once, which is great. Like they blew like 24 hours apart from each other, which he is kind of prone to doing. We've taken x-rays of his feet in the past to try to figure out why that is. And they were like, everything looks fine inside. So this horse is just weird with weird feet. He does have Lyme disease, which can cause... Lyme can do a lot of things, I'm learning. Like it can present in a million different ways. There's different strains of Lyme disease too that like you won't always get in a test. So it can present in all sorts of odd ways. So for Shorty, it seems to be when he starts getting a lot of abscesses, like in multiple feet, that might be one of his red flags. Which is just nice to kind of know that like, yes, there is a reason that he's like this, but unfortunately, like that's the tell. It's like, he's like, hi, multiple feet are abscessing. So he's on like this kind of crazy, regimen from our local vet where we like sort of switch between 2 different really strong antibiotics. Mm-hmm. And like the day before we were going to start that, like the medicine had just come in the mail. Jobber got really weird. Like it almost looked like he was tying up or something. It was very odd to look at. Like he was just clearly physically uncomfortable moving. But then he would still come down for grain and like call for supper and like happily eat everything and was grazing and hanging out with his friends and like, but then was like, don't make me move. I think I might die. And I was like, wow, something's really wrong here with this horse. Like he was like kind of groaning and grumbling when you did make him move. But so I went like down the whole, like, are you foundered? Is it laminitis? He had no heat, no pulse in the foot, no temperature. So there was like no obvious fever. It was just really weird. So We already had our like big vet trip up to the clinic with the diagnostic tools already scheduled. So local vet was like, all right, just start treating him for Lyme because you'll get the jump on it, and then get him tested when you're up there. Because she was slammed. She couldn't come out in, a timeline that would have moved that up at all. So started treating Jobber. He like sometimes looked a little better, sometimes looked a little about the same. Would sort of perk up and then like perk down. And then like also started looking really funky in the back end. And I was like, boy, this is just going to be a really fun trip to the vet. So did all sorts of diagnostics at the vet. So got some x-rays, got some ultrasounds, ended up doing like kind of some flexions and jog up for the vet. And she was like, okay, so two things might be happening. Like he could have Lyme, and also his right stifle looks really ugly. So I was like, oh, great. Okay. So we actually have like a mechanical issue as well as an illness. But then when we imaged the stifle, it actually looked pretty good. So nothing super awry on the x-ray or the ultrasound. So scheduled the home vet again, who's also a body worker. So she came out today, actually. So yeah, thank you for being flexible in recording our bit because I delayed so that I could meet her today. So he got a big adjustment, and then we watched him jog up again, and he looked pretty good. So she was like, I would go ride him. Like I would go ride him right now. So that's what I did.
Oh.
So for the first time in 4 weeks, I got to ride my horse, and actually he felt pretty good. So
that's so good.
Yeah. I did forget to fly spray his face, so he was actually really mad. So I was like, try it again tomorrow. But yeah. So yeah, it's been a ride. The good news with Jobber though is that his tumors seem to be going down. Which is crazy. Like that doesn't happen. So we're like, okay, great. So we're actually going to scale back his steroid dose and wean him off a little bit. And I'm interested to see what else might improve because, long-term steroid use can have some negative effects. So I am curious to see just sort of in the long run how this goes for him. But yeah, that was good news for once. So that was exciting. So it's been a spring. We've not done any riding at all. I've ridden Wes a little bit here and there.
Well, on top of it being like cold forever, then super hot and wet, just wet.
Yes. Yep. And now it's been dry for like 10 days. So now the ground is hard again. All the flies are out. Like it's just, it's been weird. And I'm starting to suspect, I think this might be kind of the new normal for us, unfortunately. So I think we might just have to sort of start getting used to this.
Yeah. Spring and fall they're little blips in the year now. They're not true seasons anymore.
Yeah, which is too bad because you and I live in areas that are known for like having a nice 4 seasons, and we just don't really seem to get spring anymore.
Yeah, now it's like 13 different seasons, and most of them have some sort of mental disorder through them.
Right. Yeah, like everyone around here, we all started making hay, and it's a little early. So like no one is getting the yield that they're expecting.
Mm-hmm.
Like the one field on the farm, I think they normally get like sometimes close to 60 bales, and they got less than 20 this year, round bales. So that's troubling. But the price of fertilizer went way up. So they didn't fertilize the field this year, and the yield was already less because the grass is not as mature. But when you get a 10-day stretch of good weather in Western New York, you can't not make hay because you don't know if that's going to come back. So like we bought our first load of hay, but the same field from the guy I normally get it from, he's like, I did not get enough. So here's some of your hay and you can get the rest later. So tough year. And I know other places are in similar boats and the prices are going up, and it's going to be a weird summer.
It's going to be a weird year, I think.
Yeah.
And this, listeners, is not to make you feel like bleak. We're just being realistic. I think if you've been here long enough on the show, Chris and I are not overly fluffy. We're pretty just kind of going with the flow and the realities of the world. And I think it's okay to acknowledge that right now things feel funny and a little questionable in the adult amateur world with horses. But you know what? We'll persevere. We've all gotten through it to some degree.
And also, I think it's important to protect your peace in all this too. Like, it's really easy to get overwhelmed looking at like everything is getting expensive, right? Like, and maybe we can't afford to hit the road as much or go to horse shows or do events, but like, I think we also need to protect ourselves and what we love in these times. So, if you can make it work to continue to afford those things, like do it. Like, don't feel like you shouldn't because it's gotten expensive. If you can afford it and you want to do it, do it. Like, don't let that stop you.
Yeah.
Because that's the whole reason we're here.
I am curious, though, if we'll see like a pivot as well in the market of Like, what I really miss are, like, the homegrown shows that were fun, and there would be, like, a potluck from people coming out to show or, like, a tailgate. I miss those from back in the day, so I
And
don't
I
know.
know, yeah,
I
some
still see
places, like
people getting scrappy.
yeah, like, we have, a pretty active equine trail sports community in our area, and that's
Mhm.
very much what those competitions are like. And I might if the horses get sound enough, I might hit some of those up just for fun because it
Yeah.
is very much like, "Bring a dish to pass also." And I was like, "Oh, what a neat competition," like, we all hang out after. That part's
Yeah.
cool. So
So I think we'll see a lot of creativity and maybe getting a little bit more grassroots in the equestrian world as, it gets a little harder to travel and justify some of those expenses for people. Um, I also think we'll see a lot of people getting creative with how they spend time with their horses too, if they're not focused on showing in that moment or showing less. So, yeah,
yeah.
I'm
I
going
will
to stay
say
positive.
after spending the past month just sort of standing next to my horses, that's not so bad either.
No, I do enjoy having a pasture puff. It doesn't seems like a weird thing to spend money on when there are many horses who are rideable, but I I find it quite therapeutic. It has been really nice, and it feels like my large, oversized dog who she and I are gonna try some, like, trick training and just kinda have fun. I don't know, it's low stress, there's no pressure whatsoever. It's the one thing in my life that has 0 pressure.
Love that. How is Astrid? How's she doing?
Oh
What's she up
my
to?
gosh, she's so good and cute and nice. She's enjoys the babies now, which is good. She's a little afraid of their stroller at first.
Mm.
Also, my daughter's going through a phase where she sounds like she's making, like, elk mating calls.
Oh, exciting.
It is a sound that
You
I
should
never
loan
thought
her
would
out
be
to
in my
hunters in the
house.
fall. That'd be really fun.
Yeah. Yeah, I really should do a side by side, like, elk or 8-month-old? You
Yeah.
tell.
Oh my god, do it. That'd be so funny.
But, yeah, it just took a minute to adjust, but, she's doing really, really good, and I'm actually, with lessons, able to do some of that work with her too, which I hope some of that will build up some muscle, but she's, like, really fat right now, like, really fat. Um, so we need to trim her down to keep her healthy. So she's gonna go back to work on, like, a semi-retired way, like senior greeting people at Walmart kind of work.
Nice. That's perfect.
Yes.
Yeah, like a little physical exercise, but not like carrying a rider and having to
Exactly.
go in
So,
for
like,
anything. Yeah.
doing some pole work from the ground, not really lunging because where her arthritis sits, you don't actually want her to be long and low for long periods. Kinda want her to
Interesting.
keep her head in the middle, but we also don't wanna restrict her anyway. So, um, more just guided walking so I can kinda control where her head actually is, but try to engage her core. And then a lot of almost like horsey Pilates. So, like the stomach stretches to get them to lift their back, working on her glutes, just small carrot stretches. But funny enough, carrot stretches when your horse has lower neck arthritis are different. You don't want them stretching all the way around.
Mm.
Traditional method, you actually want to focus more on stretches that kind of keep their head a little bit higher. Um, so I can record it and I'll put it on social. I think it'd be interesting just to give some diversity if anyone else is going through something similar, but, you
I
still
know,
have
I'm
to keep
personally
movement.
curious. Yeah.
Yeah, we wanna keep movement in the neck to kinda slow that arthritis down, and pasture is great for it. However, I don't have the luxury of keeping all of her food up high, so she's not stretching, so I needed to keep those muscles supporting her the best I can.
Hmm.
So yeah, more to come there, but lessons have been good too. I'm doing more writing work than groundwork now, which feels nice.
That is
Groundwork's still been great. We always, like, kinda rinse and repeat what we did the week before just to make sure I've retained it, and then we build on top. So I did a lot more trot work, and I actually learned how to do one rein stops for dressage, which was fun, and then how does that transpose into doing, like, pirouettes.
whoa.
It was fun.
I feel
So
like you, like, accelerated right up to the a whole new level.
Yeah. I mean, granted, the horse I'm riding has many, many buttons. He is a trick pony, so it helps. He already knows all the things, but I also have to be aware of what will happen. But it's been super fun to be on a schoolmaster to show me the different opportunities I can do with something that seems so simple, like a one rein stop. I have always had in my head is for emergencies, but it is actually a training tool to teach your horse how to move off the forehand and move their haunches and be very receptive to your seat. So you can do a lot with it besides
Hmm.
just saving your butt.
Right. I mean, good to know for that reason, but also, yeah. Huh.
Yes.
Cool. Did we talk
So
about this last time about just like how cool it is to ride a schoolmaster when you have been riding like green racehorses for so long?
it is
I feel like it's
crazy.
come
I
up
think
somewhere.
everyone needs to do it. Everyone needs to, go back and at least have a couple lessons. It would be my strongest recommendation. Like, I thought I knew some stuff, not an expert by any means, but like enough to be dangerous. And then all of my flaws were exposed and realizing a lot of habits I developed were survival habits because of green horses. Like,
Yeah.
overcorrecting with my hands, overcorrecting with my legs, because I'm on a horse who doesn't know, and I truthfully probably didn't know enough either. Um, so yeah, it's good to be on a horse that's guiding me a little bit more and adding to my toolbox very rapidly.
Love that.
Yeah, so it's been fun. How's farm stuff going for you?
It's going. We have a land contract signed. We just haven't closed yet.
Yay!
So we're getting there. We have a lot of work to do in the barn. And by we, I realistically mean like probably a crew of Amish that we will probably hire to do a lot of the construction work because we will have a little extra cash for that, which is
Mhm.
good. We budgeted for that. So, because we're just like, I don't know enough about it myself. I know I could learn. I also realistically don't know when I would have the time to do that. So,
That's
like, that's one of
really
those
the
things where I'm
bane of
like,
my existence
yeah.
these days is I could do it, doesn't mean I should do it.
Right. Like I could learn, there's nothing stopping me, and I am envious of people who are handy enough to do things like that, and that's just I think not where I'm at this stage. So, yeah, some things are okay to pay for. I remind myself that. Like yes, I drive my car every day. I don't know how to fix that either, and I'm quite content to pay a professional to make those repairs. So, same deal with the thing that will be standing over my horse's heads. I will pay someone else to fix that for me. Minor repairs I'm comfortable doing, but not the level of renovation that this barn is going to need. So, uh, we'll see. Hopefully, my goal is that hopefully we can move them in this fall and then get the fields replanted and like ready to graze for next year. We'll see. That might be ambitious, but that's the hope. So,
Yeah.
yeah. How about you?
Oh, not as positive, but not terrible.
Ooh, okay.
So, we had our plot and everything. Everything was looking really good. The perk passed, and it was time to like do the land split so we could move into permitting. Well, when we got our quote back for the survey to do the land split, we saw FEMA and M Eagle, which is our Michigan's like, environmental department.
Oh, I don't like that.
And we're like, do we have to do this? Like, well, because our planned driveway was going through a zone A floodplain. So that's the 100-year floodplain.
Oh,
Because the driveway went through it, we had to get a survey of it.
okay.
And the cheapest option, which still probably would have been around 10 grand a
Whoa.
year, was to have the government come in and do a survey for us. And it doesn't go to anything like the build or permits. It just goes to the survey itself.
What?
Between like consulting fees and everything, you're probably going to be around 10 grand.
Holy
I'm like,
smokes.
okay, well, what happens if you guys do it yourselves? 20 grand, Kristen.
Whoa, for a survey?
For a survey.
Okay.
And
That's
Jack
outrageous.
and I looked at each other of like the driveway was already going to be about 20 grand because of how long it was.
Right.
Now we're adding another 20 grand
Just
because
to
of the flood
figure it out. Oh my
just to
gosh.
figure out if we can even do it. So I mean, if they said no,
Yeah, that you don't get that back.
you don't get
Holy
it back.
smokes.
You get it back. And I was like, it's time to pivot.
Yeah. Wow.
Like where's Ross from Friends? Pivot.
Yeah. Again, right? Like, isn't this the second pivot already?
Yes.
Oh
Yeah.
no.
Very much Goldilocks and the Three Bears.
Okay.
But I'm looking at the silver lining. So we do have another property space. It's not far from where we initially perked. it would require us to have a shared driveway with Zach's parents, which is okay. It also cuts the driveway budget down immensely.
Love that. That's a good choice.
And in hindsight, it puts the front of our house in the woods and the back of the house facing the lake. So it'll be very beautiful.
Ooh, so yeah, when I finally come visit and we hang out and have dinner on the deck, we're looking at the water.
We're looking at the water.
Oh, that sounds
And then
nice.
instead of initially the plans were going to be like you drive to our house from the main road and you'd go through the pastures. Basically, there'd be pastures on both sides. The pastures will now be on the sides of the house. So they're just kind of pivoting where things are going so we don't have to avoid it. But it saves us $40,000 to do it this way.
Absolutely.
We're very close to electric to make that a lot easier to add in. We definitely can have a well versus the city's water. It's like, while it's kind of put a dent in our timeline a little bit, we're meeting with the builder this coming Friday to talk through it more. So I'll have more updates soon. Realistically, it's probably the best bet.
Yeah.
Honestly,
that doesn't sound so bad, though. I mean,
no,
it doesn't sound like a huge change, and it sounds like, I don't know. I'm always one of those like, hey, that was meant to be, and you just don't know why yet.
Yes. So I think it's going to work out great. And if for some reason it doesn't, we do have another option. It's just directly across from my in-laws' house. And while our house will face the lake and it'll be very, very pretty and nice, there's a rubber factory behind us and our house doesn't have the lush trees surrounding it. So it's just not as ideal. But I also will acknowledge beggars can't be choosers. And we are very fortunate to be in the space that we're in.
And you can plant trees, so you can build a privacy
Northern spruce,
if you
resilient, beautiful species.
Yeah. And hide the rubber. That's interesting.
Yes.
I will say, I live across from my mother-in-law, and it is fine. It is lovely. Like it's not like we run into each other very often. And like, this is also not to say like, I don't like my mother-in-law, but like, right. It's always like, oh, like how much do you want to be in your in-laws face? But like, it's not so bad. It's nice.
Yeah.
It's nice knowing she's there and she likes knowing we're there and, it's all right.
Yeah, it'll be good. And honestly, I love the fact that my kids will be able to, once they figure out walking safely on their own, toddle over to grandma and grandpa's house or go help grandma with the sheep and the chickens. And
yes, perfect. Get that farmy experience.
It'll be a great childhood.
Absolutely. Yeah, that's really cool.
Yeah. So very happy of the world. The project isn't dead. It's just delightfully stalled for a better opportunity.
Yes. That's a lovely way of looking at it. Very good. Very positive.
Yes. But I mean, obviously, we've gone through a lot of whiplash of things.
Seriously.
A short amount of time, truthfully. But that's okay. That's okay. I know our guest today has also been a roller coaster of an event. Might be a little bit of a theme of the episode, but I think everyone's going to have some happy endings. And speaking of more positive news, we're going to hear a happy ending from KPP on how to keep your horses healthier. Stay tuned.
Are you seeing any of the following signs of vitamin E deficiency in your horse? Stiff, sore muscles, neurological issues, lack of energy, poorly developed top line, weak immune system. Studies show that vitamin E levels drop when horses don't have enough access to fresh green grass. Elevate Natural Vitamin E can help. A research-proven, powerful antioxidant, Elevate maintains healthy muscle, nerve, and immune functions. It does this by delivering highly bioavailable sources of natural vitamin E that is preferentially absorbed and retained in a horse's tissues. Elevate comes in 4 formulas: a fast-acting, water-soluble liquid, a maintenance powder for long-term care, a concentrated veterinary formula powder, and a vitamin E and selenium powder. For more information, visit kppusa.com or call 859-873-2974. Well, we are back with our number 1 roller coaster rider. That's what we're going to start to call you, Shanin, because your spring prepping for the makeover has been just an absolute series of, I want to say ups and downs, but it almost just feels like it's been downs and downs.
Just downs, yeah.
Yeah, it's just been like, down the big hill. But hopefully maybe we're on the up and up. I know the last time we talked, you were like, it was like the night before you were going to have another vet update with your guy.
Yeah.
So what's going on? Like, what did we miss?
Exactly. Exactly. Well, yep, that is what happened, and hopefully we are on the uphill of that roller coaster. But right, last we spoke, the vet was gonna come out the next day, and I was gonna do one more round of X-rays to see if we could see anything. So we've got the abscess from hell, which is now 3 months in, and so the vet was going to come out the next day, and I was like, let's just do one more round of X-rays, see if we see anything, and if we don't, then I'll go ahead and go for the CT. So
Right.
so she came back. We did the X-rays. Literally nothing. Like she did dig out again, like a small gas pocket back on April 13th, I think it was. And there was still some remnants of stuff in there, but nothing. Yeah, nothing new, nothing big, nothing that should be causing him to still be super lame. So I did take him in for the CT on May 11th, and the radiologist has to officially review them, but the vet that did it was like, oh, yep, there's a big old gas pocket right there. And then the radiologist reviewed it and came back, and yes, he did indeed have, which is very strange that it did not show up on the X-rays for some reason, but it was.
Yeah, that's what I was just going to ask. I was like, wait, did
Yeah,
it just invade you on the X-rays then?
it was just like a deep subsolar type, and it is again gas. This is really bizarre because, like I think I mentioned last time, like I have never, not that I've had a ton of experience with abscesses, because fortunately I just haven't really had a problem. But anyone I have had has been the pus and the whatever.
Yeah, the
Zero pus.
Yeah.
Still, yeah, zero. It's literally gas. And
Weird.
yeah, and so I did well, and I actually I feel a bit vindicated because this whole time I've been, I just felt it was an abscess, and I had some people, oh, it's probably soft tissue in there, and this vet, I love her, but she was very certain that it was a keratoma. She felt very strongly that it was a keratoma, and I was just, I was hoping not, but for whatever reason in my gut, I just felt that it was, and so yay for me, it was, and so the gas, and so I asked, like, why gas, like what, and apparently they say that it's a different type of bacteria, but that's about all I got. And so I had to go to good old Dr. Google and say, why a gas pocket as opposed to the oozy stuff? And apparently it's due to necrotic tissue.
Oh.
So, yeah. So why exactly? So why he has necrotic tissue in there? So she ended up coming out. So the CT was May 11th. She came back out by the time the radiologist reviewed it, and then her schedule, she came back out literally a week later, May 18th, to go ahead and dig it out. And she had the precise measurements from the CT, exactly where it was. Still pretty deep. But as she dug, she's like, oh, there's like dead corium in here. And
what?
So no clue. And so the only thing we can kind of think of is, maybe there was a bruise or something back in the ice, which is when it all started. And then honestly, just his crappy feet growing out. And how they kind of say sometimes they fall apart before they get back together, and just all the stuff working its way out of his body and out of his feet. And yeah, so we don't have,
though.
very bizarre. Very bizarre.
I've never heard of that.
And no, nor have I. And the first time when we did find the one gas pocket back on April 13th, when she dug it out, there was literally a hiss of the gas being released. Yeah.
The evil spirit of the dead bit of his foot was leaving.
Exactly. Yeah, really. like, woo.
You exorcised the demon that was in there or something weird happened. Yikes.
Yeah, it was pretty bizarre. But this time there was nothing. There was like no noise. There was no liquid. There was no
It's like
nothing. There was
anticlimactic a little bit. You're just like, all
very
right,
much so. Like
there it
we
went.
were praying. We were praying
Yeah.
for just pus to ooze out, which sounds really gross. But both the vet and I were like,
Course people
you
know,
know,
we get it. Yeah, it's
yeah. But because it was very anticlimactic to not even get
that
the
is
hiss
so
even.
weird.
Um,
God, man, every
so
time I'm on this show, I'm like, well, I think we've talked about it all.
and
Or
well,
like
no,
every
we
time,
learned
you scroll a thoroughbred group and you're like, well, it can't possibly get weirder than that. And then you're like, surprise, your horse is like
it
holding a
does
deer.
indeed. It does
God, that's
indeed. Yeah.
weird. Ugh,
Still have no clue. So
wow.
she ended up, sorry, I don't know if you were just gonna ask a question. She ended up
No, I'm
packing
just
it.
still marveling over this.
She packed the hole because now he's got a pretty deep hole in there, and
Right.
so packed that with antibiotics, and then ended up putting him on systemic antibiotics,
Yeah, good call.
just to try to just kill, whatever all that bacteria is, try to kill it all. So he's now been on that, well, since May 18th. So what is that, like 3 weeks now?
Yeah,
Um,
that feels about right.
yeah, something like that. And she's coming back out this Friday, to just kind of do a recheck and see. I'm not sure how long he's going to be on the antibiotics. I know she was kind of thinking like a good 30 days, which then sent me into a panic because I've worked so hard the last several months to get his gut healthy and everything. And
Oh,
now you're just going to kill all that good
blast it
bacteria.
with
Yeah. But he's on like mass amounts of probiotics, like 2 different kinds of probiotics, and so far he seems to be doing well. I mean, he's fortunately he's eaten all the little capsules, 20 every morning, 20 every night. He's
Oof.
eaten them. I know, right?
What drug is it? Like, I've gotten way too intimate with the various, like, families of antibiotics recently for
It
horses.
is, and let me look because I had never really heard of it again. So let me just come in here and look again. It is minocycline.
Oh, hey,
Minocycline.
we're big fans. We're a minocycline house right
Oh,
now.
is that you've had experience with that
Oh,
as
yeah.
well? Oh, lovely.
Yeah, the little,
Okay.
like, there's, like, the little plasticky capsules. They're very
Yeah.
easy to eat, I assume. I have not eaten one myself, just
Yeah.
to make that clear. But, yeah,
Well,
my horses are like, "Oh, yum, nom, 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 nom," and they
yeah.
sound
I
great,
was
so
super excited. The first night I gave him to him, I so on my feed, like I soak on my feed, right? Everybody gets soak feed. And so with the first night, I kind of mixed it in with the feed and he ate it all up. And I was like, yes, this is awesome. Well, then the next day he was like, nope, no, thank you. And what happened is because the feed is wet, it they all kind of melted. And then I think he tasted
yeah.
it and he was like,
Yeah,
nope,
they're
not
just
doing this anymore.
yeah.
Yeah. So then again, good old Dr. Google, like searched up and people are like, no, literally just don't mix it in, just sandwich the meds between the feed, don't mix it up or anything. So like the whole capsules stay whole.
Yes,
And
yeah.
that's exactly what I do. I let him kind of get started and then I do break up a few little like German horse muffins with it so he gets some extra good taste. And then once he gets started eating, I go in, I kind of pick up a handful of the feed, dump everything in one pile and plop the feed back on top of it. And he eats every single one without a problem. And thank goodness, because that would be a nightmare to have to try and dose it, twice a day
Oh my
and
god,
all that.
yes.
Um,
Yeah, we're feeding it out for Lyme right now, and I just put it on top like little sprinkles. I'm like, "Here's your
okay.
jimmies on your
Yeah,
sundae. You go." And they're like, "Okay, thanks, mom." And they even Jobber, who's like, he's deeply suspicious of everything. He's like, "Fine." So,
that's
yeah.
awesome. That is
But yeah,
awesome. Because
same
yeah, there's
same deal. I
nothing
was like,
worse.
"Okay, we don't put these on until we're ready to serve it." Right?
Yes.
Like a waiter, I'm like, "Okay, let me beside the table, I shall put your pills on top," because exactly, yeah, they dissolve, and you're like, "Oh, no, shoot."
Yeah. No, yeah. You definitely don't want them dissolving.
Yeah.
Exactly. Exactly. But yeah, I'm
Ah,
super,
the
super
skills
excited to
we've
eat them.
developed in this life.
And he is, I got to knock on some wood. He is sounder than he's been in 3 months. He's
Yay.
actually,
Good.
yeah, we were actually, I was able to, now, so I've got him in boots now because he was wearing the good old duct tape wrap for a while, but then that just got to be a bit much because he's still got the big old hole in his foot. So now he's just in boots to protect the hole. I pack it with hoof stuff, which I don't know if anyway, it's like this kind of, it's really cool stuff that stays in the hole, and then he's wearing boots. But yeah, we've actually been doing some groundwork and walking over poles again and starting to actually do stuff again. I'm super excited.
Oh, yay. You know what? And this might be one of those things, right? Like we always say, like, oh, no one's journey looks the same, and blah blah blah, that kind of like motivational stuff. But when you're in the trenches of it, like you don't want to hear that because you're like, I'm behind, like we haven't done anything, like I know, I get it, like please stop telling me to stay in my lane, But also, I think one benefit of this is like you guys have really had a ton of time to bond on the ground.
That is
Right.
true.
So
That is absolutely true. Yeah.
I do feel like you actually might accelerate your under saddle training way faster now because he's like, oh yeah, that's just Shanin. She gives me
I'm hoping
German
so.
horse muffins and sprinkles.
Exactly.
Yeah,
Exactly.
like he's gonna be like, all right, great.
I
So
hope.
that's the
Yeah.
vibe I'm sending you. I think you're gonna find that the next couple of months like are just gonna fly by. I mean, they're gonna fly by one way or another, but like I think
Well,
he's
right.
gonna be like, oh yeah, great, we're friends.
I'm
We've done
hoping so.
things.
I'm hoping so.
Can you imagine what that must feel like to have a necrotic tissue removed from your foot?
I feel
And
so,
then you're
because
like, "Oh, man."
for 3 months this poor guy was limping around and in pain, and I felt so bad for him. He got more massages the last 3 months because I was trying to do everything. Because I think we kind of alluded to last week too, or last talk, was that when they've been limping for it's going to throw their whole body out of whack.
Yeah,
And
everything goes out,
his
yeah.
back was super tight and his hind end was super tight, and so I was getting out massage gun and massaging him all the time, and literally several days a week, trying to stretch him and all this kind of stuff. And so yeah, just talking about building that bond and the groundwork. When he sees me coming with that massage gun, he's like, oh yeah, there's that lady that attempts to make my body feel good.
I
And then
love
I
I bet he's gonna do anything for you now. Like, I know, like, as humans, because I do the same thing, right? I'm like, "Oh my god, I feel so bad you were so uncomfortable for so long," but they, like, for whatever reason, don't seem to associate that with, like, "That's your fault," right? Like,
right, right, right,
like,
right.
bless them, they're like, "Oh, cool, my foot feels better now. What do you wanna do?" And you're like, "Oh god."
Yeah,
Like, I love geldings in particular.
yeah,
They're
yeah,
so good at that
exactly.
where they're like, "Okay, great."
He's just such a cool dude. This whole time, he's just been such a trooper, so yeah, I'm looking forward to actually getting stuff going with him. We did have, I don't know, I don't think we talked about his trailer loading. We had
No, I think you mentioned that it wasn't
It
great.
wasn't, yeah, it wasn't great, and we
Yeah.
had been working on it, but then I couldn't work on it because he was lame. Yeah, and I didn't want him to
Right.
associate getting in the trailer with his foot hurting.
Yeah,
So we
good
hadn't
call.
really been doing anything. Yeah. And so and I kept kind of joking but not joking because I was serious with the so I take lessons with a couple people. I actually ride with Chelsea O'Brien, who
Oh, yeah.
she's been at the makeover and
Oh, yeah.
several times. Yeah.
Just celebrate, yep.
She's awesome. I love her. And then there's another lady near me named Joy Gallup who does a lot of obstacle work and liberty work. And so she had been coming over to kind of help me with the trailer loading when we could. And we were taking things, like super, super slow. Like she does. She's great because she takes it really, really slow, like no pressure, just sort of lets the horse do it on their own, kind of. Which then part of me was like, who's what horse is gonna like choose to go in a trailer? But anyway, we were kind of joking. Like I'm like, what if there's an emergency at some point? Because she had been here a couple of times and he still wasn't really loading. Like he would put two
I mean,
feet
that's
in.
a valid question, right? Like,
Well, exactly. Like
yeah.
they need to load if there's an emergency or something. And so I was kind of like, we've got to speed up this process a little bit because I need to get this horse on the trailer. Well, now of course I had no choice. I had to get the horse on the trailer to go to
Right.
do the CT. And so but he was he was a trooper. I ended up doing a lot of stuff by myself, and and basically all I did, and this is here a bit of a training tip for people, and this is one of our training journeys, I guess. My so my trailer is a 3-horse slant, and it's a step up, and so he obviously came home with me, so he was able to get on the trailer coming home, but that was his, his people who were like, "You're getting on the trailer," and so yeah, the problem we would have is he kind of would step a foot or two up, and then he would back right off. He just wouldn't step in. And then I think I did mention this. He doesn't really know. He's better now, but he didn't know how to back up, and he didn't really know where his hind feet were. So it was stressing him out to get on the trailer and then back off of it.
Mm.
But what Joy kind of suggested I do is literally sit in there, like turn over a muck tub and sit down in the front of the trailer, and have a lead rope on him, obviously, but not put any pressure on it, and just not even look at him, like literally look at my phone, or because he really wants to be with you. He wants to be with you all the time. And so that's what I did. I just kind of sat in there, and I did have a bowl of treats on the ground. Like, I wasn't luring him with treats, but if he came in the trailer and happened to find them in the bowl on the ground,
right, you're just ready to reward him.
Yeah. And that's what I literally sat on that thing and just wasn't even looking at him, not paying any attention. And then sure enough, he was like, "Hey, I want to come be with you." And then he popped right on the trailer. And so the CT was on a Monday. And so like the Friday, Saturday, Sunday before, I was like, okay, we're really going to work on this. And by Sunday, I just had him kind of loose in this little area where I had the trailer park. So I had it on flat ground and all this. So whatever, I just had it in like a good spot for him. And he was loose while I was getting ready. I went to the trailer to put the treats in the bowl so they would be ready when we, came to start the training, because I don't want him to like see me I wanted them to just be there, right? So he just found them. And I put the treats in, and then I turned to like walk out of the trailer, and he just walked on completely by himself.
Oh,
like I had no lead rope. I had no nothing. He was just like, "Hey, there are treats in here." And he just kind of walked on completely by himself. So yeah, the moral of the story is going slow does actually work. And now he walks on. Well, and then I was afraid that he wouldn't get on. Like once we went to the hospital, and then he went through the CT, and then I wasn't going to be really, I guess I could do this whole thing, but it was, it was a different environment. It was stressful. I'm like, what if he doesn't get back on to come home?
Yeah, then, right. Yeah, because it can't be like, give me an hour to sit with him in the parking lot, right? Like that doesn't always work. Yeah.
Exactly.
Right.
And so I got one of the texts, and I'm like, all you're going to do is literally stand by the door. You're going to do nothing. Like, I literally just want you, because my gate, it's like this big gate, and if it's windy or like, I usually tie it open. When I've been working with him, I tie it open so it doesn't accidentally blow on him or anything, right? But then that's hard to do when you're by yourself, because then once you go in, you have to like tie him or whatever, and then hurry up and get the gate. Anyway, it was, so I just
loading by yourself is like a fraught process.
It
that does not get enough respect. It's like a scary thing to do. Yeah,
it is, exactly, and especially when you've got one that's not super sure about it. So I'm like, I got the tech, and I'm like, all you're gonna do is hold this gate, make sure it doesn't blow anywhere, and you're gonna do nothing. Don't even look at him, like no pressure on him whatsoever. And if he goes in, you're gonna shut the gate behind us. She's like, okay. That, bless his little heart, he literally walked up, like he didn't even hesitate. He just walked in and got right on, and I was like, okay. And so yeah, the moral of the story is going slow, because I was kind of getting frustrated. I'm like, this horse needs to get on a trailer, and we've got to speed up this process. And she kept, going slow, which is great. I'm glad she did.
That's such a good testament to that process. That
Absolutely.
3 days? You said 3 days of just concerted effort, but it wasn't like you were working hard, right? You were like just waiting,
and letting him come in on his own. And
and that's going to apply to everything you do with him. So you know, that's the hard part, is just remembering, like, wait, this worked before. I just need to wait. And I bet
Exactly.
you're gonna be ready to go by October. I'm so excited.
And, it's funny because and now you just reminded me, he kinda got sick. So usually when I was soaking his foot with this whole thing, when the few times I didn't soak it a whole lot, but I did, and so I always kinda go into my wash stall because he's still like, he'll cross tie, but I'm always kinda hesitant about cross tying, like, in a open aisle way because if
Right.
they pull back or something, then it's, whatever when he when they're not familiar with cross tying. But if I do it in my wash stall, there's a wall, a wall behind him, so he can't go anywhere. So I would always soak his foot in the wash stall, and I think he just became not a fan of getting his foot soaked, and
Mhm.
so then he was not wanting to go in the wash stall.
Oh, yeah.
And again, if you put any kind of pressure, if you like wave a flag or swing the rope at him to try to get him to go forward, he's like, and he goes backwards. So then what I do is I have to walk in the wash stall and kind of stand there, and then he'll take a step and take a step, and then he'll go in. Oh, good boy, good boy. But if you put pressure on him, he's like, nope, I don't want to. I don't want to do this. So yeah. Again, what you're saying, just going slow and give him the time that he needs to kind of check it out and think about it, and then he'll do it.
Yeah.
So I'm
And,
learning
like,
a lot
you
about
know
him
that
going
now. Yeah, like, now you
Yeah,
understand the way he thinks and the way he processes
exactly,
information.
exactly.
So, yeah, not that I'm recommending that everybody have a horse with necrotic tissue in their foot, but I do think this is
Right?
such a testament to, like, taking that get to know you time and, like, really doing it
Absolutely.
thoughtfully, right? Like, obviously, your hand was forced here.
Yes. Yeah.
Maybe this is not the way
Exactly.
you would have chosen to do it, but
Right.
I think you actually, like, this is such a fascinating testament to that process, and I'm really excited to see, where your relationship goes with him because I think this is just
See
really
where we
cool.
go from
So,
here.
yeah, I'm so
Yeah.
excited. I can't
Yeah.
wait for the next update, so you'll have to I mean, we'll be in touch again in a couple of weeks, but yeah, I'm super pumped to see, like, here's where we're at and here's what we're learning. So, yeah, as always, Shannon, thank you so much for, sharing your story so candidly. I would say the ups and the downs or the downs and the downs, but
And
we're on the up
the downs
now.
and the downs and the downs, and then eventually and up. So yeah, thanks
Yeah,
so much again
love
for
it.
having me. It's always a pleasure, and yeah, I look forward to actually having some stories of outings. We're going to do the obstacle stuff with Joy. I'm taking him to her place next week. It'll be the first time he's gone off property on like a field trip to do anything, and then the next week I'll be taking him to Chelsea's for the first time. So I hope to actually have some stories other than this abscess to talk about next
Yeah.
time.
This has been like this has been very fascinating. So, yeah, again,
Well, thank
appreciate your
you.
sharing your story. And yeah, can't wait to get the next update.
Thank you. Thank you. Appreciate it. We'll talk to you guys then.
Did you hear? Practical Horseman just launched an all-new membership, Practical Horseman Plus. You get expert training videos, premium articles, and VIP seminars with top professionals, plus merch drops and exclusive newsletters. Get unlimited access anytime, anywhere. Practical Horseman Plus, a legacy of horsemanship for today's English rider. Join today at practicalhorseman.com and use code PH10 to get 10% off of an annual membership.
Well, it is our favorite time of the show where we get to do a little virtual horse shopping with our good friends at New Vocations. But first, we are going to get to a training question, and we have with us Amanda Grace from the Kentucky branch of New Vocations. Welcome back.
Thanks so much for having me.
So, Amanda, the weather is nice. It is finally dried out everywhere. Hopefully not too dry because it's so fast to swing the other way around here, probably around where you are as well. But those wide open spaces are calling. So I was curious for your take on this. If we are out in a field and those wide open spaces are calling our names and we want to go for a gallop on our thoroughbred and really experience that speed, what homework should we have done first before we get to that point? Like, as much as I want to be like, YOLO, like, do your thing, live your dream, like, also that's maybe not the safest way to approach it. So what's your take?
Yeah, certainly not at my age. So
Same.
And this is such a perfectly timed question because I actually did that yesterday on my off the track thoroughbred.
Oh, heck yeah. Good for
you.
you.
I love it. Yeah, I mean, there's nothing more fun or exhilarating for sure. And there's nothing I love more than galloping over in wide open spaces. But I will say that I have a certain level of trust in my horse and his brakes that I have instilled before we attempted that in any fashion. So, so if we're not going to go YOLO, there's definitely a certain amount of homework that we want to do first. For me to be able to trust that everyone's going to stay safe, I definitely want to make sure that I have some trust in my brakes. I don't go out into the wide open spaces with these guys until I know that we can walk, trot, canter on a loose rein in the ring, and then out in a safe open area. And once I can canter nicely out in an open area, and my half halt works. I don't want to be pulling on their mouth because they're going to want to brace against me and, speed up. So we want to be able to know that our half halt works and build that trust. I will then, when I have my location that I'm going to do it, we start with trot sets and make sure that we can get up the hill at a nice gentle trot and then a nice gentle canter, and then slowly build up to where we can open up to that full gallop and know that we're going to be able to kind of calmly and quietly gallop up the hill and get a nice quiet slowdown at the end.
Nice. I like that you said up the hill too.
Yes.
Like, and I get if you're riding cross country regularly or you fox hunt or even, if you trail ride, you're never always going to be on a nice grade like an arena. But yeah, you definitely don't want to do this for the first time going down a hill. A hill can kind of help take some of the fizz out too. We're blessed at our farm to have fairly steep hills. And I know kind of where to pick my spots to do a gradual incline or this way is flat, that way's really steep. So I have my runaway truck ramps kind of established ahead of time, where I'm okay, if we're going to do something crazy, I know if we go this way, the hill will kind of wear you out a little bit.
Yeah, kind of like running in the sand for a person.
Right. Yeah. You're okay, if things go a little wild, and they have, and because I'm always doing dumb stuff myself, I would never recommend for other people to do this, but I'll tell the story anyway. I've had jobber for long enough that I'm let's do bridleless Fridays, and I don't have an arena. We only have cow pastures. So I'm out, dorking around with no bridle, and I'll be let's do a canter. Let's do a fast canter, and sometimes it gets a little Western, but I'm at this point, we've been out there for 7, 8 years. So he knows where he's going. I know where he's going. We know where to put him where he runs out of steam. And I also again, that's 8 years of riding a horse in the same space where I know that's a hill, that's going to work. So, but that's never a bad idea. To kind of pick some places.
You built up a foundation of trust. So that definitely has to be there for sure.
Yeah. And it's not always oh, I trust him to take care of me. It's I trust that his naughty is going to be this level of naughty, right?
Yep.
I know what shenanigans I'm going to get, which is still trust. It's just not the trust that maybe you imagine where you're trust, it's well, I trust you're not going to straight kill me. So here we go, so.
I trust if I see you towards that hill, you will slow down.
Yeah, you'll run out of juice at some point. So love it. All right, cool. Well, folks, if you are feeling inspired to go for a gallop, let us know how it works. And please, do some of your homework, introduce things gradually and thoughtfully, and then have a good time after that. Because I think that's the most important part is still enjoy your horses. So, yeah. Thanks, Amanda.
Yeah. So fun. Send us videos. We want to see it.
Yeah, for real. Yeah. All right. So, speaking of horses that might be fun to take for a gallop, why don't you tell us about our adoptable horse of the week this week, who is precious. I'm looking at his cute little face right now.
Oh, I love this guy. So this is Scorcher. He's probably one of my most favorite guys we've had in the barn, probably since I've been at New Vocations, which is 3 years now. Conformationally, he is short coupled and athletic, and he's just built like a hunk. He's really thick. And he just has the most puppy dog personality. He's so steady under saddle. He's just a certified good boy. And I am shocked that we still have him in our barn. I love that he's still in our barn. But he's just been a certified good boy. We really enjoy him. He's fun to ride. He's fun to have around. He's kind of a little bit of a goofball, but in a really fun way.
He sounds like the perfect, like, gelding personality, right? Like,
Yep.
some people like geldings for that reason because they're just, like, goofy little dudes.
Yeah, with his one little brain cell.
Yeah, right, exactly. Yeah, like, Joy and I go back and forth on this all the time. Like, I've ridden great mares, I love mares, but, like, I also really like having a field full of doofuses that are just like, "Hello, we love you." So, like, that's there's something to be said for that.
Yeah, they're like, "You can just think for me, it's okay."
Yeah, like, "Oh, okay." Oh, look at him, I'm watching his video, he's just, like, ping-ponging around this ring as a happy little 3-year-old.
Yeah,
He's
like,
precious.
I would event him, but one of our riders is a Western rider, and she loves to take him out in Western tack and do all the Western things with him, and he's just up for whatever.
Yeah, I was just thinking, I was like, he's got that nice beefy, like, big quarter horse build. Yeah,
Yep.
he could go either way, I think. So,
Yeah,
yeah, looking for an all-around, this might be your guy.
yeah, for sure.
How do we have War of Wills already? This makes me feel old. This is this horse is by War of Will, and I'm like, "Wait, didn't he just retire, like, yesterday?"
Yeah, it feels like it.
Yeah, I guess that was at least 4 years ago. Gosh, I've been here too
Apparently.
long. Oh my. Oh, man. Alright, this guy is super cute. So, Amanda, remind the fine folks where they can find Scorcher and all of the other great horses that you guys have for adoption.
Yes, absolutely. So if you go to newvocations.org, all of our currently adoptable thoroughbreds are up there for all of our locations, and you can search by location. I definitely strongly advise that we get our applications in to become approved adopters so that when you see one that you like, you can reach out and we can get them in your barn.
All right, folks, go grab Scorcher and please tell us, or well, tell New Vocations that Retired Racehorse Radio sent you, but then also please tell us because he's really cute and I want to follow his career. Amanda, thank you so much. We'll catch up with you again in a couple of weeks.
I can't wait.
You can find our show notes and links to today's guests on the website at horseradionetwork.com. Like us on Facebook and Instagram. Just search for Retired Racehorse Radio. Follow the network on Twitter at Horse Radio. You can find me on Instagram and Threads at The Horseback Rider, and you can follow along with our new farm adventures on Instagram at Painted Forest Farm. My email is kristen@horseradionetwork.com.
You can find me on Instagram at Misfit Mare, and my email is joy@horseradionetwork.com. Thank you to our sponsors, Kentucky Performance Products and Equestrian Plus, and to our partners, New Vocations Racehorse Adoption Program and the Retired Racehorse Project. Don't forget to check out all the other shows on the Horse Radio Network, part of Equine Network, at horseradionetwork.com. And don't forget to rate, review, and subscribe to the show as it helps us grow. Remember to set your goals high and love to learn from every ride.
And every time, cow side leg.
Bye, guys.